state title.
Well, this, of course, one of the great rivalries in high school hockey. The third straight year these two teams will have played for the state championship.
And we are underway in the non-public final. Don Bosco Prep in their white and maroon, Delbarton in their green.
And for those who have not seen a lot of high school hockey or seen these teams in particular, Dan,
shot caroms off into the side.
Excuse me, these teams will fly up and down the ice.
High-level skill. Here's an opportunity for Delbarton. Just couldn't get underneath that one as Max Williams skating into the corner. Williams with a goal in the tournament, also had a goal against Don Bosco Prep. These teams have met 3 times already this season, all 3 won by Don Bosco, including the Gordon Cup Championship a couple of weeks ago, the second title in program history for Bosco. But they have never hoisted the state championship trophy. What a jarring hit delivered by Delbarton. Play to the near side. That hit looked to be Kai Berezniak, the freshman, lowering the boom. Delbarton, on the other hand, this is commonplace for them. Getting back to the state final for the 13th time in the last 15 seasons. They have won 14 state titles in their program's illustrious history, the most in New Jersey history. These two teams are going at it as you'd expect. Here's a turnover forced deep. Bosco with the backhand, no good. As that opportunity, it was Tyler Sedlak. Shot from the point, caroms behind the net now. Corralled by Kraus. Up and out for Delbarton, but out of play. And Tyler Sedlak, who is an outstanding senior for Bosco, with a prime goal-scoring opportunity in the early goings here, Lou. The senior who leads Bosco with 39 goals and 72 points on the year.
Well, Sedlak over 200 points in his career, drawing interest from the likes of Holy Cross and Bentley. He's a 4-year varsity player for the Ironmen.
Second all-time in points in Bosco history, behind only his head coach, Greg Toskos. His 13th season at the helm of his alma mater. He's been a part of all the teams that have made the state finals, first as a player in 1994, and now in the last 3 years as the head man.
Tosco's the all-time leading scorer at Bosco, 129 goals, 229 points.
Dropping it in behind the nets. Resniak will play it. Over to the far side, glove down. Ganisola as it goes around again to the near side to Berezniak. Misplayed, here's a shot! And getting a glove on it was Cleaves. Brett Cleaves, the goalie for Delbarton. 1.22 goals against average on the season. Max Schwartz, the outstanding senior in the other net for Bosco, as he watches that go into the corner, allowing only a goal per game this year. Has been brilliant against Delbarton. 63 saves with only 4 goals allowed in 3 games. Into the corner it goes. Once again, J.P. Nolan takes it. Now Bosco trying to reclaim possession. Delbarton having lost 3 times to the same opponent, unheard of in a single season. Bosco trying to make it 4 for 4 and win a state title.
Mind-boggling, and it's been domination, really, by Bosco.
Trying to jam in front is Williams, along with Falavine. Bosco having won 3-1, 3-0, and 5-3 against Delbarton this season.
Think about it, Dan. They've outscored them 11-4 in the 3 games. That just doesn't happen.
2-on-2 the other way. Long distance shot. Gloved nicely by Brett Cleaves, the sophomore. Will make the stop on the shot from distance by Zach Hammond. 11:31 left to go here in a scoreless first period of action from the Prudential Center here in Newark, New Jersey.
I've been covering high school hockey a long time in New Jersey. I can't ever remember those kind of numbers against a Delbarton team.
Don Bosco 26-1 on the season, having won their last 23 consecutive games. Clearly the number 1 team in New Jersey, but can they finish it off in a place that has bested them 4 previous times in program history? 0-4 in the state final. Delbarton 19-6-4.
Their only loss this season way back on December 5th to CBA by the score of 3-2. And that's it.
Bosco waiting to get onside, but it's going to be delayed offsides. Delbarton will reclaim possession. Skewer that one ahead. As Kai Berezniak had it. Now trying to hold on to it. On the near side, and Delbarton makes the change after it dumped in by Brendan Clark, number 12. Here's Bosco with Tyler Sedlak. Sedlak's defender falls down in front of him, loses an edge. Good recovery defense, though, by the Green Wave. Ganisola, the junior, making the play defensively in his own zone. Not out of the zone just yet. Bosco takes the shot. Behind the nets and wide. Again out to the points. Bosco setting up, approaching, fakes, shoots. Maybe Cleves saw that, maybe he didn't. Here's another deflection in front as Bosco's starting to whiz around the nets. Both teams with only one shot apiece on goal. Bosco keeping it in, prolonged to this possession. Another deflection. Cleves will make the save in front. Stopping play with 9:54 left to go in a first period that's back and forth between both sides.
Delbarton defeating Bergen Catholic in the semifinals 2-0. James Monahan 2 goals in that game for the Green Wave. Don Bosco disposing of Gloucester Catholic 4-1 in the semifinals to get to this championship game.
Bosco outscoring their playoff opponents 19-1 in their first 3 games. Intercepted in front of the goal mouth for Delbarton. Trying to get out of harm's way is Michael Balzarati. The captain, the senior, leads the team in goals, assists, and points. Big hit at center ice. Williams knocked off the puck. Interception here. Falavine stood up by the double team of the Don Bosco defense. Both teams getting at it. Clean play so far. No penalties. Jarring hits aplenty. Knocked all the way back to center ice. Nolan will backhand it into the zone as Delbarton goes for a change. Bosco had to rally in that Gordon Cup final and eventually win the game 5-3. They were trailing Delbarton late in the game.
No panic by the Ironmen in that Gordon Cup final. And of course, it was a huge win, their first Gordon Cup title since 2014.
Curling around now after the puck is left behind. Ben Conrad. Dumping it in again. Chasing after it. Berezniak. On the near side boards. Conrad falls down. Hunter McGee trying to pry it out. Goes out to the point. Here's a shot from the point. Behind the nets. That time the shot from distance from Armand Rigby. Player falls down for Bosco, trying to recollect. Another save in tight for Cleves.
Well, Cleves has been outstanding. He has not allowed a goal in the state tournament. 2 shutouts in the Gordon Cup playoffs as well. He has been hot at the right time for Delbarton.
Delbarton allowing only 1.4 goals a game. The only thing that could be better than that is Don Bosco allowing just 1 goal a contest. Max Schwartz, a senior, 33 saves, only 1 goal allowed, 2 shutouts in the tournament. 12 saves, 3 goals allowed in the state final a season ago, trying to make amends and cap off a historic season here for Bosco. Can they be crowned the Kings of New Jersey ice hockey here tonight? Curled around to the near side, stacked up on the glass by Nolan. Turnaround shot. Schwartz sees it despite the man in front. Nice play there. But denying Tim Royce what would have been the first goal of the game.
Max Schwartz, 5 shutouts on the year. 23-1. He's won 23 of Bosco's 26 games this season. He's been terrific. And remember, he took over some big shoes to fill in Alexei Masenko, the all-state goalie, the last 4 years for Bosco.
This is certainly in the midst of the golden age of Don Bosco prep hockey, Lou. Their record over the last 3 seasons, 84-2. Insane numbers. 80 wins, only 4 defeats. 3 of the 4 against you-know-who, Delbarton.
This team this year 26-1. Despite the fact that they lost 2 All-State players to graduation, Masenko the goalie and Mickey Burns, who then went to the University of Vermont.
Here's an odd man situation and a break the other way for Bosco. Trailing back to make it 3-on-3. Now curling around behind the goal. Finding a man open to the point. Here's a shot. The wrister doesn't get through. Cleaves locks it home and a score! Don Bosco off the rebound. Bosco scores. Liam McClinsky, number 2, the senior captain, scores his 29th goal of the season and gives Bosco an early 1-0 lead over Delbarton.
Well, Liam McClinsky over 100 career points. As Dan just mentioned, his 29th goal of the year. He's got 45 assists as well. He's been a spectacular player throughout his career with the Ironmen.
And he has been prolific this season against Delbarton. Now this is the 4th game. McClinsky 3 goals, 6 assists against the Green Wave. Striking first with 6:36 now left to go in the first. 1-0 Don Bosco Prep, courtesy of a goal from Liam McClinsky. Right place, right time off that initial rebound given up by Cleaves.
It's a huge goal for the Ironmen from a confidence point of view.
Now behind the net it goes. Bosco looking for more. Trying to give and go inside. Delbarton with only 2 shots so far. Bosco with 5 here in the first, as we're coming up on 6:15 left to go in the first period. Bringing down the other way. Duraki dispossessed. Shouldered into the boards. Here comes Sedlak. Behind the net, curls over to the far side. Delbarton trying to bring it up with Ray Berezniak, dumping it in. Chasing after it is Delbarton. Could not get to it. Has been Conrad. Conrad was trying to get underneath. So a 1-0 early lead for Don Bosco Prep. The Ironmen striking courtesy of Liam McClinsky. Give McClinsky 3 goals and 4 assists now in the non-public state tournament. As Bosco dumps it back in. Nolan sends it the other way. Again, Delbarton struggling, Lou, in these moments to get it out of their own end.
And again, you can't overstate the importance of that first goal. Even though Bosco's had great success against Delbarton this year, they haven't had success here against Delbarton. So that's very important psychologically.
This is another home for Delbarton, the Prudential Center. 8-1 are the Green Wave in the state finals here at the Rock. Their lone defeat coming against CBA. As that will come to a whistle and halt play with 4:57 left to go in the first. 1-0 Don Bosco Prep here in the 2019 non-public championship final.
Well, Delbarton has been so dominant. 3 straight non-public titles. They're 64-7 in the playoffs since the year 2000.
Back up to the points. Wrister goes wide. Delbarton not able to really put together a couple of passes. Now a 2-on-2 situation developing. Balavine leaving it back for Bazzarati. Shouldered into the glass behind by a pair of Ironmen defenders.
TJ Schweigart. Schweigart, what a terrific defensive player. He's an outstanding offensive defensive player with 17 goals and 32 assists, but his role really is defense, and he does an outstanding job leading that Don Bosco ironclad defensive unit.
The face-off will come to the left circle. It's Don Bosco holding on to a 1-0 lead here. 4:30 left to go in the first. Dan Long, Lou Brogno, happy that you could join us here at the Prudential Center. This is the 4th and final championship game of the night. We've seen some dandies before us. No real close games so far here, Lou, as we've seen no games really be nail-biters in the championships in the public school ranks.
Well, these are 2 broadcasters longing for a close game here today.
Here's a shot, blocked down into the corner. As it was Carfagna who was trying to get it on net for Don Bosco, and his number 9 counterpart, Varsity, got a piece of it on the other end. Bosco recollects and brings the rush up the ice. Nice movement here for Bosco. Could not split the double team, though. .335 left to go here in the first. Along the far side boards, goes down all the way. Icing waved off. Nolan will have to play it. He got rubbed out from behind to the other side. Played on net. Cleves will have to stick it and then put his glove over the puck, freezing the play. 3:22 left to go in the first. Still a 1-0 lead for Don Bosco Prep.
Well, so far, pretty much what we would have thought. Tough, defensive, hard-hitting, checking first period. Bosco, of course, taking advantage, making their shot opportunities count, getting that goal on 6 shots so far.
Don Bosco going 7-1 in the Gordon American Division, winning the regular season, then winning the second Gordon Cup in school history.
And trying to do something that not too many teams can do, win a Gordon Cup title and a state title in the same year. Even in Delbarton's best seasons, they sometimes had struggled to do so.
Delbarton lost twice in the regular season last year to Don Bosco, but then rallied to win in overtime in the Gordon Cup final. And then went on to beat Bosco again here in the Prudential Center. Now Bosco finally trying to find an answer to what has plagued them for years. Just the Delbarton Green Wave in hockey. A program synonymous with greatness, certainly in this last 2 decades. 2:45 left to go in the first. That one popped up high in the sky, deep down as Bosco will dump and chase. Delbarton trying to string together other quick passes. They just haven't been able to do that so far. Here's a nice turn and fire. Rebounds again, Juicy in front. As that time, McClinsky again was lurking off to the initial save by Cleves. And the referee talking things over with Sedlak as the net came off its moorings.
I think Sedlak was saying he was pushed from behind, but no call made, I don't believe. So the face-off will come just outside the blue line.
Hunter McGee trying to win the face-off. Instead, it's won backwards by Delbarton. Williams will dump it in deep. Royce trying to clear around and get it. Possession won by Sedlak. Quick pass to McClinsky. He flies down the other way. He's the goal scorer. Drops it backwards for a teammate. Deflected before it could get to Cleves. The centering pass went through the crease. Now up top. Hard saucer pass deflected off the stick of Sedlak. Denied him the chance at that angle shot to the far wing. Now over behind the net to the near side. Delbarton trying to throw the body around. Dislodge the puck and try to break the other way. Good job of holding center ice by Bosco, and they dump it in, and both teams will change on the fly with 90 seconds left to go in the first. Monahan, the hero against Bergen Catholic, scoring both tallies, as you mentioned, Lou. And that's deflected out of bounds and over the boards and out of play. Bergen Catholic was the 11th seed, upset both Pope John and CBA before having their season come to a close against Delbarton. And even though as much as Don Bosco would have loved to have matched up against Bergen Catholic, who's normally their arch rival in most sports, you got to say that it's their chance at Delbarton that they'd want the most.
Well, when it comes to hockey, you would think their arch rival is Delbarton, the way it has been the last few years.
Absolutely.
No question about that.
Here comes Bosco the other way. Forgione bringing it around the back of the nets. Knocked off the puck to the near side. Delbarton skating it down the other way. Brennan Clark. Puck popped up and over into the netting, as they say, went over the glass. Stopping play with 48.7 seconds left to go in the first. Only 10 combined shots in this game. You'd have to expect that. These teams know each other very well. This is the fourth and final meeting of the 2018-19 hockey season between Delbarton and Don Bosco Prep. Bosco having won all three of the previous matchups, trying to make it a clean sweep and finish off a storybook season. 27-1 in what would be the first ever championship and state championship for Don Bosco hockey.
Well, there certainly are no surprises in this game with these two teams. As you said, Dan, they know each other like the back of their hand.
Delbarton will play it backwards behind the nets as Kraus left it over for Rigby. Williams stood up on the boards. Can't collect it. Good work on the boards on the near side by Hunter McGee of Bosco. Now to center ice. Delbarton has not been able to possess the puck all that often here in the first period offensively.
And Bosco just swarming defensively every time the Green Wave touches the puck.
Bosco still just holding on to the puck. Maybe content to just run out the remainder of this period. Don Bosco Prep will lead Delbarton after the first 15 minutes of action. 1-0. Don Bosco on the goal by Liam McClinsky. And Lou, that's the type of start that Bosco was craving here at the Rock. Get that early goal and really dominate the pace and the tempo of this game.
Get the early goal, get outstanding goaltending from Max Schwartz, tough defense every time Delbarton touched the puck. That's just the way Greg Toskos would have drawn it up prior to the game.
15 minutes in the book, and after one, it's Don Bosco Prep 1, Delbarton 0. As you're watching the 2019 NJSIAA New Jersey Devils Hockey Championships here on NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live. Welcome back, everybody, for the start of the second period here at the 2019 NJSIAA New Jersey Devils Hockey Championships here on NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live. You're watching the 2019 non-public championship final between second-seeded Delbarton and top-seeded Don Bosco Prep. After one period of play, Lou, Don Bosco leading by one, courtesy of that goal by Liam McClinsky, and that was such a big psychological boost for this Don Bosco Prep Ironman side that have fared well in recent years against Delbarton, but this has been their house of horrors. This has been the place they have yet to defeat Delbarton at, and to garner that early lead, they're hoping that's going to pay dividends down the line.
Well, two straight finals against Delbarton, the Green Wave winning both of them. And in fact, they've lost 3 times to Delbarton in the championship game in 2013, 17, and 18. So trying to finally break the ice here against the Green Wave. Delbarton just couldn't get any offense going in that first period whatsoever. And primarily that has been part of the problem for Delbarton this year offensively. They've certainly done a good job defensively, and they've gotten good goaltending from Brett Cleaves, but the offense just has not clicked. Remember, this is a team that graduated 13 players from last year's championship team, so a young Delbarton squad trying to find their groove offensively.
Delbarton in the green, Don Bosco Prep in the white and maroon, and we're underway for the start of the second period. Dan Long joined alongside by Lou Brogno. Happy that you could join us here for our 4th and final state final here at the Prudential Center. Possession won by Delbarton, but again, they can't link up that outlet pass. Kieran Kraus intercepted by Don Bosco. Now to center ice and dumped back in, as Bosco will trace back to try to collect. Fortescue started the wind around the boards. Now goes out to center ice. Turnover forced by Bosco. Here go the Ironmen, but right into the breadbasket of Brett Cleaves, as Cleaves, the sophomore goalie, will make the stop. 8th shot of the game for Bosco, and as you made mention of, Lou, the lack of scoring opportunities for Delbarton, they are only at 3 shots on goal in this game. Just seconds gone by to start this second period.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to get any kind of chemistry whatsoever offensively to bring the puck up the ice.
Everything won in the neutral zone. Glove down there by Schweigert. Goes over to the far side. Knocked down, still in the offensive zone for Bosco. The Ironmen in hot pursuit with Liam McClinsky. He's the goal scorer in this one. A goal in the first period gave Bosco their 1-0 lead. Good work and hustle behind the net for Bosco. Here's another shot, deflected, and a big save there by Cleaves.
There's a huge stop there by Cleaves as he got his glove on it.
Bosco starting to pounce here. Here's McClinsky with Cleaves, another low save. The follow-up shot wide into the corner. All Bosco in the early goings of this second period. Here's a shot from the high points. And another save by Cleaves, and he's single-handedly, Lou, keeping Delbarton in this game. Bosco out shooting Delbarton now 11-3.
Brett Cleaves with a 94% save percentage on the year. Coming into the game, he had made 410 saves, giving up just 27 goals. He's been spectacular tonight once again.
That's 77 saves and 11 goals allowed in the 3 matchups prior to this one against Don Bosco. Has surrendered only 1 goal here in the final. Now Delbarton with a little ice to skate. Trying to get it in the corner, though, and Bosco quickly up and out. Delbarton not even able time to pursue these pucks in the corners. There's Bosco winning the race now, trying to stuff it into the near side. The puck was loose for a moment and has to be iced down the other end by Delbarton. You feel that the Green Wave are a little bit on their heels in the early goings. So the start of the second period with 12:46 left to go, 1-0 the lead for Bosco.
Well, Bosco has just been the quicker skating team so far in this game. They've been able to get to just about every loose puck before the Green Wave have been able to get there.
Bosco won in the round is 16, 10-0 over Notre Dame, 5-0 over Seton Hall Prep in the quarters, 4-0 over Gloucester Catholic in the semis, and leading 1-0 here. 20 goals in the tournament, only 1 goal surrendered. Into the corner, Bosco chasing after it. Trying to pin against the glass was Jack Benitez, number 3. Now here comes Delbarton the other way. Rare opportunity up the ice. Trying a centering feed, finding no one. Up to the point, blocked down before it got to Schwartz. Really not pressed into service yet in net for Bosco. 3-on-2 the other way for Bosco. A glove save by Cleves, stopping play with 12:04 left to go in the second. Now the shot disparity grows to 12-3. A defensive clinic being put on by Coach Greg Toscos' Don Bosco Prep Ironmen.
It's the quality of shots as well. You saw Delbarton take that shot from just inside the blue line. Very unlikely that you're going to score against Max Schwartz from way out there.
Karam's off the boards on the far side, trying to poke it free. Maserati, the captain for Delbarton, can't win the race behind the net. Knocked forward, up and out of the zone, back to center ice goes Delbarton. They'll dump it back in and chase after it. Maserati trying to win that race, gets boarded by Carfagna. Now Bosco the other way. Or the lower boards. Possession won by Falavine of Delbarton. Bosco right back in as they make the change. Bad Karam off the boards led to an opportunity for Bosco, drawing the oohs and ahs of the faithful here.
That was almost disastrous for Delbarton. James Monahan trying to bang it off the boards and around, but instead it Karam'd right back in front of the goal.
Schweigert, the senior defenseman, 5 goals and an assist against Delbarton in the 3 games this season. Loose out in front, a little tricky hop and taken on the fly by Brett Cleves. 10:42 left to go, still 1-0 the score here in the second for Bosco.
And the shot differential is widening as Bosco has now outshot Delbarton 13-3.
And I believe 6-0 in this second period. A great day of hockey here in Newark. Happy that you could join us all afternoon and evening long on NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live. This one not only for the non-public championship, but most likely #1 ranking in New Jersey. Big hit delivered by Delbarton on the far side, knocking Don Bosco Prep down. Ganasola now with possession of the puck after he had that big hit. He gets knocked down himself. No icing as got a piecing of it before he went to the end line. Now Don Bosco dumping it in, forcing Cleves to glove it down, plays it back. Bosco still able to run down the puck in possession. The ice is really shrinking for Delbarton, not able to generate any momentum whatsoever from their defensive end through the neutral zone. Bosco's speed on display here. Played right back in by Bosco. J.P. Nolan, the senior defenseman. Outlet pass to center ice. Here's an opportunity for Max Williams. Williams the other way, takes the shot. That's the first shot of the period for Delbarton, and the easy save for Max Schwartz for Bosco with 9:19 left to go in the second.
Very good shot by Max Williams, the senior. He had some gas on that one, if you will. Williams has 12 goals on the year, 20 assists, one of the offensive leaders for the Green Wave this season.
Williams had an assist against Bosco in the 2018 state final. A final last year won by the Green Wave 4-2. They've defeated Don Bosco in the finals 2-1 and 4-0 as well. Here's a turnover forced by Bosco, by Delbarton, and forcing Bosco Schwartz to make the glove save.
And Varsity, the leading scorer for the Green Wave, with a blistering shot that time, vying for his 29th goal of the year.
9 minutes exactly remaining here in the second. Don Bosco scoring the lone goal in the first period, courtesy of senior captain Liam McClinsky. Bosco trying to win their first ever state championship in ice hockey. Delbarton looking for their 15th. That shot winds around to the far side, corralled by Bosco at center ice. Delayed off sides, and Bosco will have to get back on sides. That allows Varsity to break open. Down to the near side, 1-on-3. Can't chip it. Taken in instead behind by Bosco. It's been a clean game so far. Really haven't seen penalties be a factor in this one as Bosco gets strewn down to the ice. Back along the near side boards, Nolan lifting the stick of his defender, gaining possession back. Now over to the near side, Bresniak. And once again, Schwartz game for that easiest of saves. So Delbarton is starting to generate, Lou, a little more opportunities on offense, but nothing really testing Schwartz just yet.
No, still some of those shots are coming a little bit too deep. They need to create some havoc in front of the net.
Face-off left behind by both players. Now taken in by Don Bosco behind their own net. 8 minutes left to go in the second. Long pass. Bosco saying they got a piece of it. Instead, the referee saying it is icing as they're going for the home run pass and trying to connect with Mark Garfinkel right in front of the Bosco end. Offensive zone face-off upcoming for Delbarton.
You know, Dan, we talked about some of the numbers for this Delbarton program throughout the years. They're just mind-boggling. 8 Gordon Cup titles, 18 Menin Cup titles, winning their first back in 1989. They've won 10 of 11 state championships, 11 of the last 13, including 6 straight between 2008 and 2013. It's just the kind of dominance you just don't see, no matter what state you're in, no matter what the sport.
Delbarton has gone 14-10 all-time in championship finals, 11-6 in these non-public finals, 3-4 when you also count in the Tournament of Champions, which they no longer play here in New Jersey. And it all started in 1992 for Delbarton, but has really picked up steam, winning 9 of the last 11 state titles contested here in non-public. And now Delbarton starting to whiz around the nets. Schwartz making the initial save, and then another save off the shoulder on the follow-up attempt.
But you see, those are the types of opportunities the Green Wave needs, creating a lot of traffic and a lot of pandemonium, if you will, in front of the goal.
Getting some pressure. Williams fighting for the puck in the near side corner. Back to Williams. Williams takes the wrister, just whistling wide. Puck is loose in front. Caroms through the high slots and finally corralled by Bosco behind its own net. Poke checked ahead by Delbarton. Here come the Green Wave. Takes the shot again off the shoulder. Schwartz coming to life here. A couple of great saves for the senior goalie for Don Bosco. But the momentum has shifted a bit, Lou, as another icing against the Ironmen. And Delbarton starting to percolate here. They still trail 1-0 with 6:41 left to go in the second. But now the shots are 14-9 in favor of Bosco.
Well, what a wonderful spirited play by Mark Daracci, who dove and poked that puck ahead with his stick. That's the kind of hustling play the Green Wave need to really get themselves going.
Face-off one back to Rigby, who sails that shot. Rides along the top of the glass. Now it caroms out to an opportunity off the post for Bosco. It caroms into the netting. Sedlak so close to doubling up his team's advantage with that transition play the other way.
Well, Sedlak missed by just a few inches. He had Cleves beat that time. You saw Brett Cleaves kind of look over his shoulder like the puck was by him, and indeed it was.
Sedlak had a goal in last year's final for Don Bosco, one of the two. Screener in front doesn't bother Cleaves that time as he gets another save. 15 saves in the game for the sophomore, number 31, Brett Cleaves of Delbarton. Offensive zone face-off, one back by Bosco. Out of the far side point, blocked down by Delbarton. Bosco trying to answer of this run of late by the Green Wave. Trying to push for that equalizing goal. Bosco will scamper back behind their own net. One on the near side boards and the rebounds. Out into space. Didn't look like Schwartz knew where it went. Collected though by his team. Here's Bosco the other way. Having the numbers advantage. Now Delbarton with the break the other way. A 3-on-2 developing. Here's the shot off the post. Monahan drawing the pipe. Both teams trading post shots in the last couple of moments.
Monahan trying to go near side with that shot, with that wrister, but he missed just by a couple of inches.
5:30 left to go in the second. 1-0 Don Bosco Prep leading Delbarton here in the 2019 non-public group final. Fight for the loose puck just in front of the Bosco bench. One out of space and into the other zone for Delbarton. Losing an edge, though, was Brendan Clark. He'll go into the far side corner. The puck is played off the near side boards by Don Bosco, thrown back into the zone. Getting on sides is Delbarton. Another turnover forced by the Green Wave. Bringing it up the ice, though, is Berezniak. Ray Berezniak leaving it inside the slot. So his brother, as Kai Berezniak, was trying to be the recipient. Good job of defensive hockey there by Bosco, getting low, blocking the shot and pass attempt inside. Still possession one behind the net by Delbarton. Taken in by Bosco. They'll loft it high into the air and take a bounce all the way down the other way where Nolan will have to play it on the bounce for Delbarton. Here come the Green Wave in transition with Williams. He'll dump it in as both teams go for a change. 4:15 remaining in the second. Still a 1-0 lead for Don Bosco Prep, out shooting Delbarton 16-10.
Delbarton has crept a little closer in that department. At one point, they were being outshot by 10 or 11.
Now Bosco going into the corner with it. Troy Clement, number 21. Winning possession, trying to jump out from a defender, but losing the puck. Delbarton skating down the other way. Here's a shot from distance, blocked by the leg of Schwartz into the corner. Here's a deflection attempt. Delbarton not able to get it down in time. Into the corner once again. Bosco now will have it. Couple of good opportunities there presenting itself for the Green Wave of Delbarton. Especially that follow-up deflection right in front of Schwartz.
Max Schwartz with a terrific kick save on that last stop.
Here's another shot for Bosco, getting closer. As it goes out all the way back to the defensive end for Bosco. McClinsky playing it head forward. Here's Sedlak. Just missed moments ago off the iron. Balzerati leaving it backwards. Falavine back to Balzerati, takes the shot and scores! Michael Balzerati, the senior captain for Delbarton, off the beautiful give-and-go assist from James Falavine. And we have ourselves a brand new hockey game. 1-1 the score with 2:54 left in the second.
Tremendous execution by the Green Wave as Balzerati left it for Falavine, and he gave it right back. Great give and go, and Balzerati buried it.
Schwartz tried to do everything in his power to slide back to that near side post, but his full extension could not keep the puck out. What a finish there by Michael Balzerati, the senior. Giving him his 4th goal of this tournament, 29th on the season.
And Falavine his 11th assist, and none more beautiful than that. That was a thing of beauty.
1-1 the score. McClinsky struck for the first goal of the game for Bosco back in the first. And now Varsity with the equalizer here at the tail end of the second. Now can Bosco respond right back, and they do! Shoots and scores! Liam McClinsky. Talk about a response in the blink of an eye for Bosco. And it's 2-1 Ironmen.
McClinsky with a cannon shot over the shoulder of Brett Cleves. Cleves never had a chance. McClinsky, like it was shot out at a rifle.
And Delbarton not really having any time whatsoever to enjoy that goal from Varsity, as McClinsky with the response right away. Something that Bosco was looking for. And that's a senior leader in Liam McClinsky, producing when he needs it the most. 2 goals in the state final now for McClinsky, give him 30 goals on the season. Bosco right back with a lead.
You cannot overstate the importance of that goal by McClinsky. Delbarton looked like they had gathered the momentum heading perhaps into the third period. Bosco stole it right back.
And after that one, Cleves skated around a little bit outside his net, knowing, being a little frustrated, it looked like. Let that one go. Bosco whistling that one wide again on the wrister. There's another shot blocked in front before it got to Cleves. Now Delbarton, do they have a response with 2 minutes left to go in the second? McClinsky's goal has given Bosco the lead once again at 2-1. After just seconds before, Varsity had tied the game at 1-1. Bosco behind the net now, up to the points. The follow-up attempt, nearly a dangerous finish there for the Ironmen, who again are looking for what would be their first ever state championship in boys ice hockey. A team that has gotten to the finals 4 times previously in their program's history, but have been denied all 4 times, once by CBA and 3 times by Delbarton. Brett Cleves with the cover-up there on the shot from the point. The 20th shot of this game for Bosco, who lead 2-1 with 1:21 left to go here in the second.
Well, Delbarton just looking to regroup now. They thought they had this one knotted up heading towards the final period. And unless they can score over the next minute 21, they'll go into the third period down by 1.
Laid back at 1 on the face-off draw. Don Bosco setting it up on the points. Here's a shot. Blocked into the corner by Cleves. Bosco looking for more here. So we're approaching 1 minute left to go in the second. Kind of taking the wind out of the sails of Delbarton with that quick response by McClinsky. Something that Bosco has just not been able to do historically here in the state finals against Delbarton. That's why they're saying this is a new season, brand new year, and a brand new Bosco team. Icing the call against Bosco, just couldn't range out in time before it crossed the end line. 47.2 seconds left to go in the second period of action.
Well, so many Don Bosco Prep fans have said this is the year for the Ironmen. If they're ever going to win a state championship, it would be with this group. They've already beaten Delbarton 3 times this year. And this might be the most talented team Greg Coscos has had. He's had a lot of talented teams, but this might surpass all the rest.
26-1 on the year, having won their last 23 consecutive games. Unbelievable considering the level of competition they play in the Gordon Conference.
You know, we talked earlier in some of the other games about the Menin division, how that's the toughest conference for public school teams. Well, the Gordon Conference, that's the toughest conference, period, for any level of high school hockey in New Jersey.
Teams geographically all around the state of New Jersey playing in that. And if you're in the Gordon Conference, you have automatic admission into the state tournament. You could see even the likes of a Bergen Catholic, who was an 11 seed, making their way to the state semifinals. How good the conference play makes you. And how good is Don Bosco Prep? 15 minutes away from glory That second goal by Liam McClinsky have pushed the Ironmen in striking distance of their first state title. After 2 periods of play, it's Don Bosco Prep 2, Delbarton 1. Stick around for an exciting conclusion here for our final state championship game of the 2018-19 hockey season, as you're watching the 2019 NJSIAA New Jersey Devils Hockey Championships here on NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live. Welcome back, everyone, for the start of the third period as you're watching the 2019 NJSIAA New Jersey Devils Hockey Championships here on NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live. Dan Long, Lou Brogno, happy that you could join us for the third period of the 2019 non-public championship game. Don Bosco Prep in search of their first ever state title, leading 2-1. After 2 goals scored between both sides in that second period after Bosco led 1-0 after 1. And Lou, the finish line is in front of Bosco, 15 minutes away from immortality for this team that is 26-1 on the season. What do they have to do here to hold off what we'd expect would be a ferocious comeback attempt here for Delbarton?
Really, Dan, they just need to play their game. They need to be tough defensively in their own end, and offensively they should just keep pressing the pedal to the metal and try to see if they can get another goal, which would give them a cushion. I think Bosco is in command right now. All the pressure's on Delbarton. The Green Wave have struggled offensively for the most part this year, and they need to get at least one more goal to tie this game up.
And we are underway, the start of the third period of action. Delbarton in the green, Don Bosco in the white and maroon. 2-1 the lead for Bosco. Delbarton tied the score at 1-1 with Michael Bazarati scoring, and then mere seconds later, Liam McClinsky scored his second goal of this state final to stake Bosco out to a 2-1 lead. Weird Karam bounced on the stick of Cleaves, the goalie for Delbarton. Now curling around behind the net, trying to center that pass, but Don Bosco sees it broken up. Puck bounces out in space. Mark Duraki had control for a moment. Now bounce into the zone deep as Delbarton changes up their lines. Don Bosco content with running a little clock behind their nets. Now they'll start their advance up the ice. Up and along the boards on the far side. Bosco with it behind the nets. Knocked away, though, by Conrad. Over to the far side go the Ironmen, trying to connect with a pass up the middle to McClinsky. Looking for the hat trick. We've seen one player already today, Sean Murray of Morris Knowles, score 4 goals in his state final. As this is the 4th and final state championship game of the 2018-19 hockey season here in New Jersey. We saw Ridge, Summit, and Morris Knowles claim public school championships here at the Prudential Center. Will Don Bosco Prep continue that run and finish off this season as not only the champions, but #1 team in New Jersey? Coming up on 2 minutes gone by here in the third. Dump and chase executed by Bosco, trying to get it behind the nets. Walling off is J.P. Nolan. Nolan knocking down the Bosco player behind the nets. Now Delbarton out. Trying to skate through. It's coming up on a 3-on-3 situation. Skewered away into the far corner by Schwartz. Now Bosco breaking out. Both teams doing a great job, Lou, of clogging up the neutral zone so far in this third. There's a shot from distance. Blockered away by Cleaves up straight in the air. Schwartz trying to get it right back to his teammate Connor Sedlak, the sophomore.
Good play by Schwartz there, coming out to play that puck. Keep the action going.
Knocked away. Stolen away by McClinsky. Delbarton will reset things behind the nets. Only 13 shots on goal in this game for the Green Wave of Delbarton. The two-time defending state champions, having won the last 2 years against Don Bosco. 4-2 last year, 2-1 in 2017. Here's a shot trying to go to the roof. Just missing that one. As the puck will carry him out all the way down into the defensive end for Bosco. That speed on full display all evening long here by the Ironmen. Really frustrating Delbarton, limiting the chances of the defending state champs. search of their 15th state championship in ice hockey. As that will go for icing of the play, stopping the clock with 11:15 left to go here in the third.
You know, we talked about what Bosco needs to do to try to secure their state championship. For Delbarton, of course, under their great future Hall of Fame coach, Bruce Chattel, I'm sure there's no panic there at all. This team has been through many games like this throughout the years, and I'm sure Coach Chattel just said to his team, hey, we're only down by 1 goal. We're still very much in this game. We've got a whole third period to play. So, you know, we just want to play our game as well. They're not going to do anything different.
We're saying that next goal, oh so vital in this game. To give Bosco some breathing room and extend their lead at 3-1, or is it new hope for Delbarton to tie the score back this time at 2-all? Trying to dump that in was Duraki. Didn't get it far enough away from the defenseman for Don Bosco, as Bosco breaks the other way.
Talk about Bruce Chattel in his 18th season. He has placed more Division I players than any other school. They have cranked them out at Delbarton.
Bruce Chattel also won a state championship a couple years ago as the head baseball coach at Delbarton.
Absolutely.
Not a one-trick pony for the Morristown-bound school.
Longtime baseball coach at Delbarton. Of course, his dad, Harry, won 752 games, Hall of Fame coach, baseball coach at Morristown.
So I guess coaching and winning is in the blood there in the Chattel family.
Absolutely.
10:26 left to go in the third as they get a new puck. Face-off will just come outside the defensive zone for Delbarton. Bruce Chattel has won 11 non-public championships in his coaching tenure at Delbarton, including also 1 TOC title. 12 state championships in 18 years is insane when thinking about it. Now here comes Delbarton the other way. Conrad getting past the initial defender. Now Delbarton trying to cycle over to the near side. Here's Conrad. Takes the shot. Goes into the far corner again. Laid up by Kraus. Taken in by Bosco. Not out of their own zone yet. Good work here by this line for Delbarton. Just skipped over the stick. And up and out is dropping it in and making the change is Tyler Sedlak. 9.5 minutes left to go here in regulation. 2-1 the score. As that long pass going the distance and will be icing in the play. Offensive zone face-off upcoming for Bosco. And this has certainly been the closest of the championship games so far here today, Lou, as we have not seen that many close games in the 3 public school finals. But credit to Ridge, Summit, and Morris Knowles for taking care of business here at the Rock.
And pretty much what you would expect. The first 2 games between these 2 teams, 3-1 and 3-0. That's more what you would expect. The 5-3 Gordon Cup final, not the case, I don't think. You wouldn't expect that many goals between these 2 outstanding defensive teams.
Bosco trying to work it along the far side boards. Give and go. Here's a shot just going high to the far left side. Bosco looking to recover as Connor Sedlak searching for the puck. Lost his stick briefly, now reclaims it, and reclaims the puck. Tries to give and go in front. Bosco almost palmed it into the net. And it looks like a hand pass is the affectionate call. And 8:48 means that we will have a face-off outside of the defensive end for Delbarton. And time is of the essence for the Green Wave.
Bosco out shooting the Green Wave 23-13. Hard to imagine that Delbarton has just 13 shots in this game, and that's how stifling the Ironman defense has been.
Last loss in a state final for Delbarton came back in 2015, losing 4-3 against CBA in overtime. That is their only loss here at the Prudential Center. Turnaround stuffing attempt by Williams, denied by Schwartz. Kept in play by Rigby, but then it's deflected out of bounds into the Bosco bench. Coach Greg Toscos was part of that 1994 team. It was the first ever state final appearance by Bosco. Lost to CBA 6-1. So he has been part of every one of these teams that have advanced to the state final. He would love nothing more than to be the one to lead his alma mater to the top of the Hockey Mountain.
Toscos then went on to Boston College, of course, and now in his 13th season as the head coach, trying to win his first title. 213 wins.
Here's an outlet pass played off the boards and nearly a dazzling play by Don Bosco. Cleves lost his glove. So immediately, because of safety concerns, the referees will blow the whistle after the goalie losing a piece of equipment as vital as a catching glove. A nice play in the open ice there by Zach Hammond. Played the bounce of the carom off the boards and had an opportunity there to extend the Bosco lead. Here's from the point, gets through. Here's the top of the slot, just missing wide. Prime opportunity in front by Robbie Greenleaf, number 24 for Bosco. Nice move to get by the initial defender, but losing an edge. Here's Delbarton the other way. Centering pass. Here's a shot from distance, and a save made by Schwartz. Big save there on the shot attempt by Duraki.
Unfortunately for Delbarton, they just didn't have a player there in time in front of the goal because Schwartz lost sight of that puck on the rebound.
7:25 remaining in regulation. 2-1 lead for Don Bosco Prep. The difference being a second period goal by Liam McClinsky that broke a 1-1 tie. Here's the aforementioned McClinsky looking for the hat trick. Past his defender, curling it around to the far side. Stood up there, poked out of the zone by Balzerati, the lone goal scorer for Delbarton, the captain. Kick in behind the nets. Bodied up by three different players in white. Knocked down by Monahan, but out of the zone. And again, the puck caroms up and over the Don Bosco Prep bench, signaling a stop to play. 6:50 left to go in the third. Bosco leading 2-1 over Delbarton.
And again, a lot of time left, 6 minutes and 50 seconds when it's just a one-goal game. Delbarton will just keep playing their game and hope that the puck bounces the right way for them. The one thing, of course, they cannot do is give up any more goals. Bosco scores another goal, and the Green Wave could be in big trouble.
Don Bosco trying to defeat Delbarton 4 times here in this season.
Which again, if you follow New Jersey high school hockey, is just something you can't even comprehend.
Don Bosco, the hottest team in the state, having won 23 in a row. Only 15 shots produced so far for Delbarton. They're getting closer and closer here. Tracking down the puck and giving it back to Duraki. Duraki had a great opportunity moments ago. Williams lobs it around to the far side. Conrad takes the puck away from him, and now Bosco sets up shop behind the net. Garfinkel. Shot back in by Delbarton as they go for the change. Schwartz out of his net, handles the puck over to the near side. Taken up the ice and out. And Zimmerman coming on, number 19 for Bosco. A couple of fresh leg players here for the Ironmen in the waning stages of this game. Coming up on 5.5 minutes left to go. Into the Bosco zone and right out, and once again right out by the Ironmen. Here's a shot that has to be gloved down and stopped by Cleves. 5:19 left to go here in the third, and it's tough sledding all game long here for Delbarton to get it deep in the zone and also to set up shop for a long period of time in the offensive end due to the quick decision-making of Don Bosco's defense.
And by the way, that was a big save by Cleves. He had not been tested in quite some time. You know, sometimes you can, I don't want to say fall asleep, but not be on your toes, so to speak, when you haven't been tested for quite some time, and he made a big play there.
Approaching the last 5 minutes of the third period still. It's a 2-1 lead for Bosco. That's where we were at the end of the second. Lee McClinsky accounting for both of Don Bosco Prep's goals. Will he be part of a senior class that will hoist the championship trophy for the Ironmen? As that shot is deflected into the netting, stopping play with 4:51 left to go in the third.
Well, still plenty of time, 4 minutes, 51 seconds. It has been a crisp game, as you might expect. Not a very clean game. Haven't had any penalties. I don't think we've had any penalties, correct?
Yeah. High-level hockey here between these two that know each other so well. Knocking off the puck. Greenleaf had possession.
Two teams so well disciplined, so well coached.
Over the near side, looking for something in front. Forcing that pass was Royce, and a good save in front by Max Schwartz. Again, the senior, who last year, not to his liking, only 12 saves, 3 goals allowed in the state final. He is definitely on his game here this evening.
Not only was it an outstanding save by Schwartz, but he made a great play, heads-up play in covering up and holding on to the puck. Ben Conrad was right in front of him, getting ready to poke that rebound in.
No rebound surrendered by the Bosco goalie. Now going down the other end to recollect and forcing Delbarton to go back behind their own net. Valuable time ticking off the clock. Monahan to Williams. Williams trying to get it up top. Falls back onto the stick of Royce. Now here's Delbarton with a shot from the point. Locked down, could not be gloved away by Schwartz. And the ensuing deflection will go into the stands here at the Prue Center. 3:59 left to go in the third. Dan Long, Lou Brogno. We've enjoyed a long day of hockey here in Newark, and we've enjoyed every second of it, including the concessions right behind us. Perfect vantage point and also location for our broadcast area.
But always a special day. Long day of hockey, but one of my favorite high school sports days of the year.
As we're winding down the winter sports season here in New Jersey, the wrestling championships just had down in Atlantic City, and now the hockey season will come to a close. Here's Sedlak down the near side wing, will take the shot deflected into the far side corner. Skewered ahead by Clark. Delbarton, 3:30 left to go in regulation, looking for the tying goal. Can Bosco salt this one away and cross the finish line? Turnaround shot blocked away. Maserati trying to get a piece of it on the deflection. Here's Clark in the near side corner. Bodied off the puck by McClinsky. McClinsky would be the hero right now for Bosco, as Sedlak content with just dumping and going to the bench for a wholesale change. Now Delbarton looking to bring it up the ice. Turnover forced. Here's an opportunity for Bosco. One right back by Delbarton. Centering pass. Monahan just trickled off his stick. 2:50 left to go in the third. Back in the corner to Monahan. Monahan who had 2 goals to lift Delbarton to these finals in the semis. Turnaround shot. Leg save by Schwartz. Hugging that near side post after he had lost his stick and was playing with a teammate's regular stick.
That might have been a game-saving save by Schwartz.
Delbarton still stuck on 1 and only 18 shots in the game. Again, another one, this time peppering from the outside. Delbarton couldn't knock it down. It will go the length of the ice. Will icing stay on? And the referees will call an icing with 2:10 left to go in the third, and an offensive zone faceoff upcoming for Delbarton, who are really trying to throw the kitchen sink at Bosco here in the waning moments of regulation.
Well, the Green Wave just need to keep attacking, keep storming the goal. They're only down by 1, so it only takes 1 tip in, 1 deflection, 1 shot to tie this game up.
Around the side and up and out. A race for the puck. Sedlak did enough to knock the defender for Delbarton off his momentum. negate icing. It goes down the other way. Tip in front and up and over the nets. And a quick whistle here as Schwartz is now without his catching glove, just as we saw was the case earlier in this period for Cleves on the other end. What a prime opportunity there for the game-tying goal for Delbarton.
What an opportunity for Delbarton as Varsity let it rip, but he just got under the puck a little bit and lifted it a little bit too high. You can see he just couldn't get a good shot off. It went off the side of his stick, and then he lifted it a little bit too high over the crossbar.
Credit Thomas Schweigert, one of the senior captains of this Don Bosco team, for an effective back check. Just doing enough so that Varsity did not get the equalizer. Timeout taken by Delbarton with 1:51 left to go in the third. Delbarton getting so close for that game-tying goal, and with Cleves making his way to the bench, looks like the extra skater will be coming on with the offensive zone face-off deep in the Don Bosco Prep defensive end.
Interesting, Bruce Chattel pulling Cleves out with 1:51 remaining. He's going for it right here. I thought perhaps he would leave his goalkeeper in with about a minute left and pull him, but just under 2 minutes he's going for it. As we said, offensive opportunities have not been abundant for the Green Wave tonight. And Coach Chattel figures, hey, we've got to do something drastic here to try to get this game-tying goal.
Don Bosco Prep 26-1 on the season, having won 23 in a row, and it looks like Cleves is back in, so maybe a little second guessing by the coaching staff of Delbarton electing to keep him in, not going for it just yet.
Yeah, I thought that might have been a little bit early for Coach Chattel. I'm sure he's going to hang with his goalkeeper a little bit longer.
Williams on the near side boards. Bodied up. Still fight for the loose puck. Nobody's puck in possession just yet. Valuable time ticking off for Delbarton, though, as we approach 90 seconds remaining in regulation. Bosco content with just running the clock here.
And Cleves came halfway out. Now he will come off. Cleves is out. The extra skater is on.
Loose puck in the corner. McClinsky trying to backhand it out of the zone. Sedlak on his knees trying to gain possession. Delbarton with possession right back in the offensive zone. The empty net on the other end. An empty net goal would secure the win in the state title for Bosco. And now a whistle sounds, stopping the clock with 1:04 left to go in the third. The faceoff will come outside the Don Bosco Prep blue line. 64 seconds until Don Bosco could win their first ever state championship, dethroning the two-time defending non-public champs in the Delbarton Green Wave. Bosco towards the empty net. Hits the post. Hope is still alive for Delbarton. Inches away were the Ironmen. Now Schwartz trying to take a shot himself. Loose in front. He falls down. Bosco still trying to clear it out of its own end. Caught in the equipment of Delbarton. Now Bosco skewers it ahead. Empty net going through. Don Bosco. Empty net finish. Tyler Sedlak. And Bosco extends its lead to 3-1 with 31.5 left to go in regulation.
Well, Tyler Sedlak, his 40th goal of the year, and a goal he'll always remember, as he has sealed the deal for the Ironmen. They are up 3-1 with 31 seconds left.
What a chaotic finish to this game, Lou. You had an empty net post hit on one side. You had Schwartz, who was trying to do his best Marty Brodeur impersonation of trying to shoot it down the other way to the empty net and nearly cost himself a goal for Delbarton. And then finally, Tyler Sedlak, one of the senior leaders of this Don Bosco Prep team, who's been the second all-time leader in career points in Don Bosco history, doing the dirty work and skating out in space. And now a timeout taken by Greg Toskos. Sedlak with a goal, McClinsky with two, And the goalie, senior Max Schwartz. It's been a case, as we've seen in a couple of the other finals earlier today. It's that senior leadership willing their teams to the finish line. We saw it in the game that preceded this one with Morris Knowles, the senior leaders getting that championship. And it just looks like Don Bosco seniors, they won't be denied here today.
And it looks like the Ironmen are looking to insert Kevin Rose into goal here for the final 30 seconds. That's what it looks like. Maybe not. Rose is out there.
Schwartz was, I don't know if he was attending to some equipment issue.
Oh, that's got to be
bench.
it. Yeah, because that just didn't.
Kevin Rose is only a sophomore, so it's not like getting another senior in the game.
I guess Rose was getting ready in case they couldn't fix the equipment for Schwartz.
Schwartz did jump up alongside the glass right in front of the student section for Don Bosco Prep. Might have dislodged something. So the empty netter, and Cleaves back in net for Delbarton.
Schwartz has played a terrific game. 19 saves in the contest for the Ironmen.
And after waiting for so many years, dating back to 1994 when Bosco first made their appearance in the state final, they are 11.8 seconds away from climbing the mountain finally. The adversity that this program has faced, really just with those wearing green, as the green wave of Delbarton have vexed them 3 separate occasions here at the Prudential Center. But after years of hustle, after years of complete dominance in the regular season, and even this year in the Gordon Cup playoffs, a team that has gone 84-2 over the last 3 seasons will finally be able to claim the mantra and the title of New Jersey's best. As time will run out here in the hockey season in New Jersey, and the #1 team in the Garden State are the Don Bosco Prep Ironmen, the 2019 non-public champions. And the Ironmen finish a dream season 27-1 and will bring back to Ramsey the school's first ever state hockey championship.
It has been a long time coming for the Ironmen. Bosco finally defeats Delbarton. They win their first title in school history. And think about what they accomplished this year. They finished 27-1, and they defeat the Green Wave 4 times in the regular season, winning both the Gordon Cup and the state championship over the Green Wave.
They have dominated Bergen County constantly, never losing in the Bergen County tournament. They have cleaned up in the Gordon Conference, winning last couple of seasons the regular season title, winning for the 2nd time in school history this year the Gordon Cup itself. But they've just never been able to celebrate here on the grandest stage at Prudential Center, and that has all changed. And what a way to go out if you're Tyler Sedlak, Liam McClinsky, Thomas Schweigers, and Max Schwartz. That senior nucleus that has led Don Bosco Prep to now 81 wins in the last 3 seasons. They get to go home as state champions.
And if you're a Delbarton fan, don't worry, folks. The Green Wave, they'll be back. They had another outstanding year, finished 19 wins, 7 losses, 4 ties. And by any other standard, would have been a terrific season. But of course, by Delbarton standards, they're so used to winning championships that I'm sure they're disappointed. But another great season by these 2 outstanding programs.
So Don Bosco Prep will finish off this season 27-1, having won their last 24 consecutive games. What an outstanding campaign. Congratulations to head coach Greg Toscos, winning that elusive state championship at his alma mater in his 13th season, as he's been a part now of all 4 state final appearances, and now 5 state title appearances, I should say. And he gets that state championship that he was not able to secure back in his playing days. Congratulations to him, and Coach Attell congratulating and hugging the members of the Don Bosco Prep senior class. And that's a class act all the way, and the Hall of Famer or will be the Hall of Famer Bruce Chattel, who congratulates Coach Toscos as well. So, Lou, your final thoughts on a jam-packed 4 games of hockey here at the Prudential Center as we have now officially closed the 2018-2019 hockey season in the Garden State.
Well, always a great day here at the Prudential Center. They do such a great job. And the New Jersey Devils, who run this tournament, always an outstanding job by the Devils as well. So always great to be here. And congratulations to Don Bosco Prep. And just, one final thought, the last thing that stays in my mind, Dan, is watching Bruce Chattel hug the Don Bosco Prep players at center ice. That's really what it's all about. Great competitors, fierce rivals throughout the years, but tremendous respect for their opponents. And Bruce Chattel recognizing that this Don Bosco team was a special team this year and congratulating them. That's what it's all about, man.
One of the best high school hockey teams in New Jersey history. This Don Bosco Prep team can definitely make that claim, 27-1, getting the job done and winning that first state title. Well, I'd like to thank our producer, Josh Noble, who's been with us throughout the entirety of this afternoon and evening here at Prudential Center. And we'd like to thank Kevin Devaney Jr., who's also helping to produce our work and help set us up here and make us feel nice at home at the Prudential Center here as part of NJ High School Sports Live, powered by Local Live.
By the way, Josh is disappointed there's not another game to do.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to have to see if we can find maybe an adult men's league game somewhere in the vicinity that we could broadcast that and continue the night. The night is still young here in northern New Jersey. So for Josh Noble and my broadcast partner, Lou Brogno, always a pleasure, sir, to work with you. I'm Dan Long saying so long from the Prudential Center, where again our final score is Don Bosco Prep 3, Delbarton 1. Don Bosco will finish your #1 team in the state of New Jersey. Take care, everybody.